Mic check. Jen and Lisa, thank you very much for those gifted subs. Appreciate that. Heather on Long Island hit us up with a Prime sub. Also, we got Lenny in Queens subbing it 6 months in advance because he's taking advantage of that September discount.
All right, well, time to close up shop. Thanks for your money, Lenny.
Let's see, what does the 6 months get? 30% off.
Damn.
It's pretty good. And if you feel like buying Twitch merch, you can get 20% off the Loot Cave. We do have some cool merch, but Twitch doesn't pay me enough to wear their stuff. I do get some stuff for free, though. What are you whispering?
That stuff is cool. There's a pillow. It's funny that it's all through Amazon.
What are you pointing at?
Fuzzy. They have a fuzzy hoodie.
Pretty cool. Do you want it?
No, you do. Morgan said she opened Twitch today and there was a man just sleeping live.
Yeah.
And he had thousands of viewers.
We're working way too hard. We really are. I worry about like what's on the screen and editing things.
I think we should just put the cats in a room and turn on Twitch and see what happens.
I'm just gonna slap on a thong and go to sleep
That also seems like way too much
with
work.
a sheer blanket or a doily.
Please. "30 seconds.
Oh no. How about a fuzzy "You Look Great" hoodie? Can we make those?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. What are you were you waving at people?
I was
over there?
signaling to our live audience that we are live today.
Would you like to explain our live audience?
I expect
Carla
to
Marie?
hear claps and laughs.
No, we
just
don't- we
like
don't need that.
who? Jimmy Fallon.
Okay, well, you want to explain what's going on?
My niece and her husband, which is what everyone voted,
Yes.
are here today.
I think that's also what they voted for.
Well, he voted. I wanted to say nephew.
And that was
I did a few times, but then I was like, I think the person I'm talking to is confused.
Yeah. Because, like I said, everyone thinks, and if you weren't here on Thursday, the debate was what Carla Marie is supposed to call her niece's husband when she introduces them. And you were thinking calling him your nephew. But then I brought up, which I think everyone agreed to, if you introduce them together, it makes them sound like siblings. Like, this is my niece and nephew.
Then I was saying, this is my niece and her husband, nephew.
She married her nephew.
So, yeah.
All right, let's see. Z from NYC is saying, I need a new You Look Great hoodie. And then Lenny from Queens says, I need You Look Great pajama pants. Mine are torn. Will there be new You Look Great merch? A lot of people are talking about merch right now.
We got work to do.
All right, well, get to sewing. Grab that sewing machine and start, or weaving machine. How do you make things? I don't even know.
I don't know. We don't do that part.
Imagine, that's the crazy thing to think about right now. There was a time where, I don't know, caveman, pioneer times, where like someone in your family was probably responsible, most likely a woman, with making your clothes.
Yeah.
Right? Or you'd know a person in your town that actually like wove things together.
And now, coming across the country, the world on a cargo ship.
We could probably put 300 people in a room right now and say, hey, sorry, unless someone here can make clothes, you're all going to be walking around naked, and we would be walking around naked. Well, who knows how to make clothes anymore? We
went from one person in your family making your clothes to currently on this planet, there is enough clothing to clothe, I think it's the next 6 generations of humans.
Yeah, I guess we could all go like dumpster diving.
No, just not even in the dumpster.
Oh, like in the stores? We can steal them?
In the store, because you don't need as many clothes as you have either.
No.
But there's enough clothing to clothe the next 6 generations of people.
How long do you think you would last if you weren't allowed to buy or be gifted?
Or rent
Any clothing starting today?
I have enough clothes. I would go insane wearing the same thing.
Why?
Because it's not fun.
But what if, was it, who's this stupid Apple guy you guys love? The dead one?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. So, what? He's like the head Apple guy.
And he's stupid.
No, he's not. I mean, he was smart, I guess. Anyway, wasn't it his thing where he just wore like the black turtleneck every day? And it was the whole idea was, why am I wasting time figuring out what to wear every day?
Zuckerberg does the same thing.
Yeah, why? Although Zuckerberg's now like hip. He's got his fuckboy hair and his gold chain that he wears.
It's like a way to express yourself.
No, I understand that. And I get there's a uniqueness and whatnot. But once you figure out what your style is and how you want to express yourself, why don't you just get like 14 outfits, rotate every 2 weeks, and you're done?
I think if I wasn't on camera and Instagram didn't exist, I could do that.
Why does Instagram matter?
Because like I already posted that outfit.
So you need people to think you have a new outfit every time you get dressed. Like you don't have a washing machine. You're just...
No, I don't need people to think that. But I remember in like my first 2 years at Elvis's show, pitching the topic, Facebook ruined my wardrobe.
Oh, yeah?
And Elvis was like, yeah, you're right. It's so hard to wear the same clothes when you wore it already. And it was like, Instagram didn't even exist yet. And
because it was
social
Facebook.
Media in general was kind of ruined things.
Yeah, I don't know. And because there have been times.
But I still do it. I still am like, yeah, I wore this whole outfit yesterday.
I rotate through, I don't know, a handful of T-shirts pretty often. Like I used to have that one, even though the pits got stained, so I had to stop wearing it. But it was it Chris Stapleton, Bruno Mars, and whoever else did, and Ed Sheeran, because they all did the song together. And people would notice that shirt a lot.
Yeah, you
go, oh, didn't you wear that shirt last week? I was like, yeah, I have a washing machine. I wore it, I washed it, and I wore it again. That's the whole point. Booger Queen, hold on. Oh, Fred the Mailman, good point. Uniform every day makes life easy.
Oh, yeah.
This is also why I would argue that uniforms in school. I know, like, kids probably, I would have hated it as a student, and I did wear a uniform for first grade at St. Philip's in Clifton.
Yeah.
But I think it does make things easier for the students, and it, like, levels the playing field, right? You don't have one kid who's wearing, like, the expensive clothes and one kid who's the poor kid.
My senior year, that was, like, tossed around for, like, years to come, what they were going to do. And I remember being like, I don't fuck what you do. I'm not going to be here. But I got interviewed by the Star Ledger randomly in front of a store in North Arlington that was like, what is your quote about uniforms? And I think I said I was for them because it would help you not worry about what you were wearing every day, and kids don't get picked on.
Less money, says Kendi.
And so my niece Gabriella just said her senior year is the first year they started uniforms, and now they do it.
Did you like it or hate it?
At At first they were mad. And then it ended up being the easiest thing.
See?
She said. I feel like I'm translating another language.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't have another microphone set up, so. Let's see. My daughter wears a uniform 6 days a week. So on Saturday, if Brooke has to wear a
skirt with her jeans, go ahead.
What's the 6th day? Sunday? Or maybe for
like hockey?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking at these.
Jess from Minnesota. My kid has to wear a uniform at school this week. He's disappointed he can no longer wear Jurassic Park merch.
Well, how many? I guess.
Can you wear like gibbets on your shirts or something?
Gibbets?
I don't know.
You could add flair, like a little pin.
Because my high school, it's not like they're wearing. It's not like a Catholic school, right? Where you gotta have your socks and all that. It's just a polo or t-shirt, right? Polo, and then now they're like letting them wear jeans, aren't they? It's like almost any kind of bottom. Okay. But it's got to be, I think, a blank, like a plain color. No leggings. Burn it down.
Why are you so upset?
Because
leggings aren't normally a part of school uniforms to begin with.
They're so comfortable.
Yeah, but you can't get mad that they're not wearing leggings if there's uniform, because those leggings weren't going to be a part of the uniform to begin with.
It's crazy.
So let's get to the list that we have on here today. Monday, September 23rd. What I learned in the last 24 hours. We'll get to that in a second. Carla Marie's high school book club. Where are you going to be wearing uniforms in your high school or no?
Yeah, you look great, Mitch.
The WNBA playoffs and September bonus, which will kick in after the 29th. So the last 2 days of September, they're doing a bonus where if you gift 5 subs, Twitch will add another one. And then they might even drop more gifts. They're like kind of popping into random streams. So I don't even know for
one day, Monday the 30th?
The 29th and the 30th. So Sunday and Monday. So really for us, it just matters for next Monday. So
cool.
Make sure you're here, dropping a bunch of subs. What did you learn in the last 24 hours, Carla Marie?
Well, quite literally in the last 12 hours, I have learned that trying new things is great until it's not. And yesterday we went to Wajimaya. It's a Japanese grocery store here. And all of us picked out snacks, which you've done this with your little cousins.
Yeah.
So
it's a fun thing to do to get people to explore different flavors, understand different cultures. So you could do it at what?
I wouldn't really say we were exploring different cultures by eating chocolate Oreos.
No, but going to, whether it's an H Mart or a Wajimaya, or you could go to like Fatal's Bakery in Patterson, and you could go to an Arabic bakery. You could go to a Spanish supermarket. You could go to all the different places and kind of walk around and see what they got.
Well, anyway, I picked out, I think, sour cream and onion chips. That's what they taste like, and that's what the bag looked like. You picked out pizza chips.
Mm-hmm.
My nephew Anthony picked out chocolate Oreos, that threw me for a loop.
Why?
Because chocolate Oreos, I've had every flavor in the middle but chocolate.
I expected them to not be very different.
They were.
Than regular Oreos, but they actually were very, very different. Even the cookie itself tasted different.
And then somehow we convinced Gabriella to get, it's a pain in the ass to get them, but we still have them. They exist. They're Lay's, right?
Yes, it was Lay's, the brand.
Italian meat sauce chips.
Yeah.
And we saved them for last. And we were like, there's a chance like these might be good. I quite literally gagged. Everyone was panicking. It was so disgusting.
Yeah, they were not good.
What did it taste like?
But
it tastes like maybe a burnt pan of meat.
I don't even really, I can't.
Or rotten meat.
I wouldn't be able to put a name on that flavor, honestly. I mean, someone did on the bag. It says Italian meat sauce, but I don't know.
Well, we made her save them, and she's going to go tell my parents that they tasted so good, and they have to try them.
But we had a nice Italian meal. I had the pizza potato chips. We had the Italian meat sauce.
The garlic and onion.
Exactly.
And then some Oreo dessert.
Those just sound disgusting, says Dennis. And Dennis, you're right. They were disgusting. I would not suggest that. Now, if you wanted to just have a fun potato chip day, get a bunch of different flavors, go for it. Yeah. But they were not good.
No.
Like if those bags or if those chips weren't flying back to New Jersey for your family to try, they just would have been directly in the garbage.
Yeah, no, we were about to throw them out. And I was like, no, these can be put to good use by pranking the rest of the family.
But it is a fun thing to do, to go to different types of like ethnic markets and just try out some new stuff.
We should do it like once a month on the show.
Okay, where else are we going?
What is it called? A mukbang? How do you say it? I say mukbang and someone made fun of me.
I don't know how it's said.
Mukbang? Oh, yeah, it was your sister.
Mukbang.
Because I think
I've always said mukbang, I think.
because it's an A.
Yeah. But the interesting thing, doing the snack thing, like the super unique or like crazy flavor snacks, it's really the best option is going to an Asian market. Because what they'll do is they'll normally, since snacks are eaten faster in places like Japan, because they're more willing to try new flavors, they will try them first there. And then if they do well, they'll expand them to the rest of the world. Because if you went to like an Arabic grocery store, I don't think you'd find
There's not new
wacky
flavors.
There's there's food items that you may not have tried before.
But it's food from the old world.
Yeah, but it's not like
Yeah, well, you're not going to an Italian deli and finding some new chip flavor you never heard of.
Yeah, we don't have like Pepsi flavored hummus.
No.
or I don't know, Peeps flavored meatballs at the Italian grocery store.
Yeah, you're gonna have mortadella for the first time.
Yeah, but it's still good to do, to say, let's go all try something that we've never tried before.
Okay, so we're gonna do. All right, let's see. Hold on, Google's telling me how to say it. Mukbang.
What do you have to say for yourself?
No, it wasn't Gab. It was Alyssa. Alyssa's like, it's mukbang. Michael watches all of them.
What do you guys have to say for yourselves? Just feeding us bad information. Marijuana, thank you very much for the subscription. Appreciate that very much. Let's see. Jen said a lot of those chips start to taste the same after a while, even if they're different flavors. I think because they're so unique, it's hard to like tell them
I don't
apart.
know that chip was ever going to taste like anything else.
Because if you didn't have that bag of chips that said Italian meat sauce, and someone just handed it to you, like, this is just a shitty barbecue chip.
This is a rotten chip. Is what I would have said.
It's been very bad in school. All right.
What did
Carla
you
Marie's-
learn, Anthony? Nothing? You learned absolutely nothing.
I didn't do learning this
You
weekend.
learned nothing this weekend.
What did I learn in the last 24 hours or this weekend or from Friday? Let's see. I'm trying to think. There had to be something nerdy.
Well, what's crazy?
Oh, you know what I've been doing? And this is not like a fun fact, but I have been listening to a new history podcast.
What I asked.
Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. And I am on, so he does series, right? So he could do like a 3 or a 5 podcast series. But he also does what are called Blitz episodes sometimes. Like this is show 71. It's one episode. It's called Mania for Subjugation. And it is, let's see, total length. Damn it.
Marijuana said, welcome, brother. I'm assuming he listens to this
Oh,
podcast.
Dan Carlin's Hardcore History is so good. Hold on, I'm going to have to start it for a second.
Is he related
It is
to?
4 hours and 11 minutes long.
That's a blitz? Isn't
That's
Blitz
one
supposed to be
episode.
quick?
Yeah, the Blitz episode he does,
Oh.
they're usually like 2 to 3 hours.
That's not. He's.
Oh, no, this one, this Blitz episode is 5 hours and 40 minutes. One episode.
He should be breaking these up for more listens. This guy's an idiot.
Well, if you were to listen to Supernova in the East, there are 6 episodes of that. Each one of them is anywhere from, let's say, what do we got here? What's the length on this bad boy? It just says I finished it. It won't tell me the length.
Can you tell me what you learned, though?
Hold on. Like one episode in the Supernova in the East series is 4 hours long. So you're talking about 20 hours of content. Just talking about the rise and fall of the Japanese Imperial Empire.
I'm sorry, but I'd rather just eat the Japanese chips. Can you?
So what I've been learning about is Alexander the Great. That is what this episode is about. But for the first 2 hours that I've listened to, it's mainly been about his dad, Philip II, and his mom, and how those two big personalities are what kind of led to Alexander the Great being the best conqueror of his time. It's amazing stuff.
How is that beneficial to anything?
You should be learning things.
Okay. I am learning things. I'm going back to school. We talked about it this weekend a lot.
So let's talk
No,
about
like
your...
2 schools. The book school and then college.
So let's first talk about your high school book club, Carla Marie.
So on Thursday's show, I don't know how we got on the topic of, I read Shiloh, the book from my childhood,
Yes.
again. And I decided to text my high school English teacher and ask her what books they're reading in school now, because I think it would be fun to reread books that I probably didn't pay anything attention to.
I didn't read a single book in high school.
So she said, right now my freshmen are reading Of Mice and Men. One group is also reading To Kill a Mockingbird. And she said her seniors are reading the novella The Awakening. I don't know.
Never
I
heard
didn't
of
even
that
get into that. So she said, Of Mice and Men is short. It's about 100 pages and very riveting. If you remember, I don't know if you do, what happens at the end. And I said, well, Anthony ruined it for me during the show today. And she said something like, oh, there's always one. There's always one student that ruins it for the other ones.
But I didn't even read the book,
and I
and
think
know that's how it
Anthony
ends.
is one of those students. Anyway, we went to Twice Sold Tales in Ballard. It's a, what's it called?
A bookstore?
Yeah, but
A reseller or reused,
Yeah.
Used bookstore?
that's the
Yeah,
word. Used
okay.
bookstore. And they have a cat there. Very exciting part of it. And I
That
got,
cat's not doing too hot.
he was coughing a lot.
I think he's pretty big and he's pretty
like
old.
40 pounds.
Yeah.
Come on. Now I'm sad.
All right.
What did I get? To Kill a Mockingbird and The Great Gatsby.
Have you read either of them in the past?
Yes. But I'm going to read, so if anyone wants to read with me, I'm going to start with To Kill a Mockingbird.
And how long is that?
I don't know.
Is it like a long book? I have no idea.
Well, there were 3 different copies with all different fonts, so the one that I got is going to be different than the other ones there.
Did you get the one that looks like
The original.
Okay.
Because the other ones looked way easier to
Well-
read font-wise.
not the original? You look like the one that was
We
given
read in
out in
high
school.
school.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to read, because I think there's a movie, because the other cover looked like it was a movie poster.
Okay.
And I was like, this font looks really nice, but I need to go authentic. Authentic high school.
Yeah.
So that's what I got. So if anyone would like to read To Kill a Mockingbird, I will do that, and I will be discussing things about each character, their, what is it called?
Attributes.
Sure.
know.
That's things that I'm going to get the whole,
I love this. I love this plan.
I'm going to have my teacher give
But-
me the assignment.
But what are you supposed to be reading today? How many pages?
Oh,
How
I
many
don't know.
chapters?
I'm going to read
You
it
gotta
out
give out
loud. I'm going to read a
assignments.
paragraph out loud tomorrow.
Some popcorn reading, the bane of my existence. And
And
then
I also decided that I'm going to go take a random college course.
in what?
I don't know. Not sure yet.
Let's look up free college courses real quick.
No,
Where do
no,
you-
I don't care if they're free.
Where do you want to go?
Well, if it's free, then I'll go anywhere.
Free college courses. You want to go in person or online?
I want to go in person.
Okay. Free in person. Let's see.
Because I said I want a cute backpack and a notebook
In
and
Washington
good pens.
State. Let's see what we got.
11th and 12th grade students to take college courses. This doesn't help me. No, North Seattle College and Central Seattle College are very close. And I just want to learn things randomly. I don't need a whole degree.
You said North Seattle College?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what they got going on today. Programs. What are we looking at here, Carla Marie? Programs A to Z, but you don't want a bachelor's degree. You just need like a class, right?
See, do schools do this? That was kind of like my question. Can you just take a random class?
I think most of the free ones,
I don't need it to be free.
yes, you do. I've seen your bank
It's
account.
cheap.
You need to be free.
One class is probably like $300.
Okay, that's not bad, I guess.
Rutgers was like $500 a credit.
Why don't you just go to what is it? Coursera,
No, what is that online one that everyone takes?
University of Phoenix?
Yeah.
I think you still have to pay for that, though.
Oh.
Yeah. How does someone take a
Oh.
regular one-off class?
This is great from Gabby. She said sometimes you can audit classes so you'll get to go for free, but you don't get a grade.
So what are you doing there?
You probably give like a review to the school.
You're like, oh, this teacher did a good job, or this teacher's a big dummy.
I learned a lot, or I don't know. What do I say?
You got to rank
It's
my,
like
or
rate my professor.
Yeah. Let's see. Tacoma Swifty said, I've been thinking about taking a foreign language class, but I don't know how all of that works if you aren't getting a degree. I think that's the interesting thing. Although college, I know community colleges, you can go by the class.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that's the plan.
Angela in Spokane said, yes, you can take one class at the school. Which one are we talking about here?
But can you take 2 classes?
Well, let's start with one. I don't know if you're ready for a 2-class workload at this time in your life.
I would. Fred the Mailman said I'm going to star in Never Been Kissed too. I will 100% be the old woman going back. Because the adults when you were in college were always in the night classes,
Yeah.
and you're always like, "You're an adult. What are you doing here?" But would I blend in?
I think because you're short, I think if you just I don't know, what would you have to change? Do your hair fun or something. What are the kids doing with their hair these days?
I don't think that they're doing it.
A bob?
A bob?
No. I don't know. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a quick break. Hopefully, if you are not subscribed to the channel, you let the ad break play through because that's how we get paid. And we'll be back in about 3 minutes.
too many.
We'll be back in 12 seconds. So, with all the crazy college football things going on this season, with all the schools moving conferences, I just realized the University of Washington Huskies will be playing their first ever Big Ten road game at your school.
At
At your big, stupid school.
my old stomping grounds on the banks of the old Raritan.
And I think this is the thing where, you know, all these different conferences, all the conference realignment, I should say, everyone looks at like the great big matchups. Oh, now Michigan and Washington, or Michigan and USC can play each other, which happened this past weekend. I don't think they think about the random matchups. Like, why is the University of Washington playing in Parsippany, New Jersey?
On a Friday night.
It's stupid.
It's crazy.
It's dumb.
But I would have loved a Friday night game when I was in college. Because we had
you didn't have
Thursday
any?
or Saturday.
You had no Friday
I
night
don't
games?
think so.
Interesting. And I think that you're going to start seeing more Friday games because these conferences have to figure out a way
Is this
to get all of their teams TV time.
if Rutgers beats UW, is this a rush the field game?
No.
I hope they do.
I mean, is it their first? Is it?
No.
No, because Rutgers has been in the Big Ten for a while. So, no.
Rutgers played them our first year here, so 8 years ago.
But they weren't in the same conference then.
No.
No, I think if Rutgers rushed the field, it would be silly. Washington, granted, they played in the national championship game last year. I get it, but it's a whole different team. They already have one loss on their record. They're not that great.
I don't know. Are we 3-0?
Rutgers is
4-0.
3. Let's see. Well, this is the Big Ten standings. So
Rutgers Scarlet Knights are
3-0. While
damn, look at my two teams.
Washington is 3-1.
Rutgers and Seahawks 3-0.
It's pretty big.
How's that? What does that feel like for you?
For me?
You don't have that.
I mean, I'm a Raiders fan and a Seton Hall fan. Nothing feels good ever.
Sucks.
I haven't felt good watching my favorite. Actually, no. Last year for Seton Hall was pretty good. We won the NIT. I know it's not the big tournament, but we still finished our season with a championship. So
It's kind of
I was
how
pretty happy.
Dolphin fans feel today.
So you want to talk about the game, Carla Marie?
Yes.
Go for it.
So yesterday, the Seahawks played the Miami Dolphins, which was also so weird because I grew up with my dad being a Dolphins fan.
Mm-hmm.
My niece and her husband were here because he's a Dolphins fan. My niece unfortunately wore Dolphins gear to the game, so that was weird.
Are you banned from getting tickets now
No,
from the Seahawks?
you're allowed to wear whatever you want.
Yes.
I'm not. But seeing the Dolphins like in person, I guess I've been to a game that they've played in before, but like seeing them on our field it just looked like weird, like color wise. We don't have that. We don't have fun colors.
Yeah.
Other than us, like the action green. But I saw Mike McDaniel in real life.
And that is the head coach of the Dolphins.
So weird.
Yeah.
He's short.
He's a small guy?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not that tall.
Vicky Carla Marie wants you to know that she'll be going to the game, the Rutgers UW game, and it's a blackout game. So that'll be fun.
We never win the blackout games.
Shucks. I'm so sad. Big UW fan this weekend.
Okay. Anyway, so the game was awesome. It was the sloppiest football game ever, and the Dolphins suck. So
Yeah, it was a pretty ugly game. It was actually just not really fun to watch. I mean,
was
if you're
insane.
a Seahawks fan, you just want to see them win. That's great.
yeah,
But as a casual football watcher,
it was
it
chaos.
wasn't a good time.
no, it was interesting. A lot
I mean-
of like 800 flags. It was insane.
And how's your fantasy team doing?
Well, they're not doing good. They're not. They're
Now,
not.
do you now realize why fantasy football stinks?
It's stupid. So
Thank you.
stupid. I can't believe that people pay to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, this league that we're
I am
in,
losing by almost half.
my family league is, there's no money involved. It's just bragging rights and whatnot, which
No, don't we get a trophy?
there's a belt this year. It's not it's
Like a WWE belt?
yeah.
I don't want that. Where am I going to put it?
Where would you put a trophy? Put
I'm
it in
gonna
the same spot.
I'm going to fly back here with the WWE belt.
You can at least wear it. It's much easier to fly with a belt than it is a trophy.
Imagine me going through. Did we do something for someone in last place?
We have not done that. Originally,
Thank
the
God.
idea, but I don't think it's ever happened. The original idea, since we weren't putting money on this game, was the bottom half, the losers, would take the top half winners to dinner.
That's cute.
But I don't think that's ever happened. I've also been living in.
Half your family lives in another country.
Yeah. So
the last place person should have to do something silly.
Well, what do you want to do? Since you're not doing too hot.
I might not be last place.
What's your record?
1-1.
And are you winning this week?
No.
Okay, well, you're going to be in last place. So, what would you do? What's a good...
I don't know. Do you have to do anything in yours? Anything silly? Also, I'm not talking to the camera.
Well, you can talk to the camera.
Oh. They don't come up with a good punishment.
Yeah, it's not like wear a tutu on a sidewalk, on a busy intersection saying I lost fantasy football or something like that. I have seen people, and I like this one, I like the license plate frame. You ever seen that? Someone buys like a custom, and I'm sure now you could get it on Amazon, but it's like a glittery, very obnoxious license plate frame.
I don't want it.
And it just says, I came in last in my fantasy football league.
Great.
Or something like that. And
Cute.
you just got to drive around with that for the whole year.
I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with like hazing. I don't want to like have to butt chug.
Swirlies and butt chugging. That's what we do.
I'm okay with that. I can do a bumper sticker.
Oh, yeah, Fred the Mailman. He said, I have to remember I get to see Worst Anthony this weekend. That's me.
I hope Fred is ready to rage at a Vegas club.
Yeah, I don't know. I get in Thursday, and I leave Saturday night. Fred is getting there, obviously, for the Cleveland Browns game, which if anyone still needs tickets, they are available. I have those. The Panthers game was a tough sell this past weekend because the Panthers, we thought were terrible, and then they came in and smoked the Raiders. But
yeah,
I still have tickets for that Browns game. There's a chance I might extend my trip and maybe go to the game. We'll see what happens. What?
That's crazy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how drunk I get on Saturday and whether or not I decide to make that decision.
Okay.
So that'll be how I plan my life. So I got to make sure I plan enough things for Monday's show so that if I get back at like 2 o'clock in the morning on...
And your Uber and your ass back
Yeah,
here.
that's fine. That's fine. All right. Next on the list, Carla Marie, the WNBA playoffs, which we watched a little bit. I don't know if you were paying attention or if you were writing your stories for the podcast, but watched a little bit of it last night because last night was the first night of the WNBA playoffs. And I bring this up because there was a lot that I didn't know about the WNBA playoffs. One, super short.
Gets quick.
Which, this is the only comparison I'll make to the NBA because I do treat them as different sports. The one thing, as much as I love watching the NBA, and I love the NBA playoffs, it's so
Takes forever.
long. It's so long. There's only 8 teams in the WNBA playoffs because there's only 12 teams in the league. And I think the first game is a best of 3, the first series. Second series is a best of 5. And then I think the championship is a best of 5. And that's it. You're done.
Quick.
3 rounds of playoffs, pretty short, and you're done. You're out.
And Seattle Storm lost their first game.
They did. It's not looking good for them because if you drop the first game to the reigning champs and the MVP, it's not looking great. But the interesting thing will be watching half of the country cheer against Caitlin Clark just because she gets so much press, and the other half cheering for Caitlin Clark. And she did lose. The Fever lost yesterday to the Connecticut Sun. But I am pulling for a Caitlin Clark-like miracle. I want to see her come back, win a championship.
Her first
and
year.
Just piss off everybody.
Yeah, it'd be cool, though.
There was a stat that I talked about in the morning show podcast. Yes, Carla Marie.
Sorry. Ari Saucy said, I went to the Caitlin Clark game yesterday. I waited until an hour before to buy tickets. I can't see the rest of the message. Which made it so they were normal prices. $40.
Yeah, those prices. So if you were buying them aftermarket, like off of StubHub or whatever, they were super expensive. And the interesting thing is the WNBA play ratings for last season just came out, the season we're in. And there is a 200% increase.
That's nuts.
In viewership from non-Caitlin Clark games to Caitlin Clark games. 200% more people watch her games. That's insane. LeBron James wasn't pulling those numbers.
No.
Even back in the day, like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, we talk about those parallels between Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and whatnot. They weren't pulling those numbers.
It's also much easier to watch things
Yeah,
today.
we have more nationally televised games and stuff.
Ari Saucy said, I use the Game Time app that everyone keeps talking about. It's awesome.
I've
It
still
is
never
awesome.
used it.
It's great. I mean, I check it. I've never purchased off there.
Let's see. Deborah said, "This is why I don't understand all the hate she gets. She has done so much for the sport." I mean,
I don't think it's people within the sport complaining.
no, it is.
Who now?
There are a lot of older WNBA players.
Like Diana Taurasi, I don't think likes her, right? Who was the one that made the comment about her?
Diana Taurasi said something about like she won't be able to get away with that kind of stuff in the WNBA. We play tougher, whatever she said. But she does get a decent amount of hate, and mostly it's because she gets so much attention. And to their credit, she didn't start the season off great, but she finished really strong. And her stats are incredible. She's actually like put up really good numbers. She absolutely should be the rookie of the year. So it's a lot of people that don't like the fact that they are now sharing their attention with a rookie.
Which is going to make them more money in the end. So,
Well, not the ones that are out of the league.
oh, no.
And like Diana Taurasi is not going to make a single cent more because she'll be out of the league in 2 years. So it won't matter.
But she was in Space Jam.
She was in Space Jam, played in a bunch of Olympics, makes a lot of
She's
money.
okay.
She's going to be okay.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that
And she's the only Italian athlete in the world.
She might be the best Italian athlete
In America, not in the world.
in American sport, in professional American sports.
Rizzo and Diana Taurasi.
Does Rizzo have a World Series? Did he win one with the Cubs? I need to check that. I think Diana Taurasi might be the most successful professional Italian-American sports person. Like Dan Marino was great, but he never won a championship.
No, he didn't. Those stupid Dolphins.
Let's see.
Stupid.
Okay, so
Rizzo
Mike
did.
Rizzo has one championship, 2016. Let's see. Diana Taurasi.
But has Mike Rizzo is he an international champion? Mike Rizzo. Who's Mike Rizzo? Did I go to high school with him?
Anthony Rizzo.
Who's Mike
I
Rizzo?
did actually
I
go to
think I
school
went
with
to
Mike
high
Rizzo.
school with
I
the
may have
Mike
said
Rizzo.
it. I went to college with a Mike Rizzo.
I was like, why are you looking at me saying your own name?
So let's see. Diana Taurasi, here are her championships. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Olympic championships. Okay. And now we go to.
Is she? She's Italian? You sure? Yeah. So this is coming up right now.
And
so
a three-time WNBA champion.
So this
Two-time WNBA Finals MVP.
So this is coming up because last night, I don't know why we started talking about how.
Because of Dan Marino.
No, I said that Adriana, my 1.5-year-old niece, is going to be in the WNBA one day. And Anthony was like, I don't know, Italians don't really,
They don't excel in basketball.
or really almost any sport other than soccer. So then we went down this rabbit hole of Italian Americans in professional sports.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a lot of us.
No, not a ton. Dan Marino. That's why there's so many Miami Dolphins fans in New Jersey. They were all the
100%.
grandpas and uncles were like, "That's my guy."
Yep. It's 100%.
Yeah, because your dad is a
Yeah.
Dolphins
It's
fan.
definitely because Dan Marino.
Anthony, is your dad a Dolphins fan? See, find an older Italian man in New Jersey. He at least supports the Dolphins, unless he's like a diehard Jets fan. That's the only way they don't at least have a little bit of love for the Dolphins.
If they're diehard Jets fans, they hate themselves.
That's also true. And yeah,
Diana
Taurasi, obviously a bunch of championships at UConn as well, which is where she made her name.
Damn, representing the Italians.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's so. Instead of Christopher Columbus Day, why don't if the Italians really need to celebrate a person and throw a parade, why not celebrate Diana Taurasi through the streets of North Arlington, New Jersey? Why don't we do that? Why can we stop celebrating Christopher Columbus? Because that's coming up soon, right?
Yeah, in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I think
Just switch it
where
up.
do we sign that? We could probably get enough petitions.
No, because
Really?
I can promise you right now that no one in that town.
No, not just in North Arlington. I think we could do pretty good nationally. At least in Connecticut, where there are a lot of Italians
And Diana
they
Taurasi
like
fan.
Diana Taurasi. Yeah. How many signatures?
On the Declaration of
No.
Independence was the first thing that popped up. How many?
Do you need?
How many signatures are on the Declaration?
We'll look that up in a second. Do you need for a petition? Okay,
We're
here
going to
we
start
go.
doing the Google show.
There's no number of signatures that guarantees. Let's see. Oh,
That's
this is
for
for the state of
Washington.
Washington. Oh, this is going to be a tough thing
No,
to find out.
we're done.
What was your question? How many
How many
signatures?
signatures are in the Declaration? The old decky. What they call
That
it.
was the first deck that was ever made.
56.
Yeah.
John Hancock's the only one I got
What do you mean?
that I can think of.
I'd
George-
assume George Washington's
George.
on there.
Speaking of, I got
John Adams.
John Adams. If I really sat here and thought about some guys, I could think about them, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, Richard Henry Lee from Virginia.
I just want to list. Okay, it's not on here. Okay, well, you had some. What you were saying? something
Okay, so
about Washington.
Detective Ortner watches this show for what reason? I don't know. But he is a Washington State Trooper, watches everything Carla Marie and Anthony. He's
Love
the
that
best. He is our security at Seahawks games. He's positioned like in my corner, so I see him every game. He's the one that told me he was going to arrest Christmas Carol last year for harassment.
Okay.
So yesterday, he came up to me and was like, is your niece and her husband here? And I was like, how does he know? Oh, he watched the show. I said, yeah. He goes, well, I got them something to commemorate their trip. And he hands me 2 buttons from Washington State Troopers uniforms. He said, I don't know if you know this, but our buttons here in Washington State have George Washington's face on them.
That's pretty cool.
And he gave me buttons to
He's
get
also on our flag.
I thought you meant Detective Ortner was on the flag.
Yes.
And I was like, I started asking him, I'm like, do you know if other states have, like, state troopers have things on their uniforms? He had no idea. So I was like, I need to start doing some recon to find out.
Anthony, what do your buttons look like on your uniform? By the way,
And
there's
he's not
another Anthony in the studio.
Just talking into a mirror. But he's not a state trooper, so I don't know if,
So state troopers are the only people.
I don't know. What do you have? Yeah, your fancy one. State seal in
Which
New
makes sense
Jersey.
because our state seal in Washington, I believe, is George
George.
Washington's head.
It is.
Let me make sure.
Yeah, it's his head.
Okay.
But I wonder if Washington State is the only one that has the guy's head on their buttons.
New Jersey, we have a deer and a woman or something? What's our state seal? New
3
Jersey
sleds.
State.
There's 3 sleds on your button? What do you mean sleds? This is a horse and
I'm
2
seeing
ladies.
a horse head and 2 women. One of them's holding a cornucopia. And one of them has a Santa hat on a stick.
No, I see what he's talking about. Those things. What are
it's
those?
a plow. Yes, a sled plow. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Anthony's
like a
thinking-
farming.
He's thinking his steel has toboggans on it.
No, it's like I know he is right. Those could be considered sleds, but for like farming, not for
I know,
snow
but I'm like
sports.
looking at him like, what do you mean sleds?
This actually is a pretty hideous state seal.
This lady's got a beanie.
Yeah, let me put this on the screen real quick so that everyone knows what we're talking about.
Okay, so then I wonder if every state trooper then, but that's not a state trooper uniform, but if every state trooper has a...
Like, that is a hideous state seal. This looks like a 9th grader went into clip art and just put a bunch of stuff together. The Great Seal of the state. Why is it even the Great Seal? Just call it the seal of the state of New
It
Jersey.
is the most New Jersey thing.
Do we have another one that's not great? Why do we have to decipher? But yeah, there's a shield with 3 sleds or plows, a cornucopia. The colors don't even make sense. And a horse head. And then is that a scuba or is that a knight?
It's a knight. Rutgers.
This is a hideous state seal. I'm like pretty pissed off
They
at the
put
state
all
of New
of
Jersey.
that on a button?
You know what?
All of that or just the sleds? You have all of that?
It's the whole, yeah, it's like a mini version of the whole thing. Beanie, the sleds.
But it doesn't say the Great Seal of the state of New Jersey on your button, does it? Okay, so it's everything within that.
So you have a horse head, a beanie, a knight, 3 sleds, 2 ladies with
And a partridge and a
and
pear
a
tree.
cornucopia.
And then it says Liberty and Prosperity, 1776 on the bottom.
Was New Jersey founded that year?
We were one of the first states, so that would make
Shit,
sense.
We are one of the first. Delaware is the first.
It is. That's the only thing
I wonder if
Delaware's
they
got
just have a
going for it.
1 on theirs.
Delaware's got the first state, and then if you want to have an LLC, you choose either Nevada or Delaware to start your LLC. There's a bunch of like tax laws and stuff that
Well, why didn't you tell me that 4 years ago?
because I didn't want to cheat the system, you know.
This is still on the screen for everyone to see.
Yes, I'm taking it off right now.
Everyone's just staring at the seal of
It's
the
just
great
so-
seal of New Jersey.
It's so ugly. It's so bad.
Wow.
You know what? I know a guy who knows our governor by name, by first name. Calls him Phil. I'm sure he doesn't. But I'm going to see if we could do maybe like a fan vote.
Change it up.
There's a lot of great graphic designers in the state of New Jersey. We could talk
Way better than in 1776, yeah.
What if I got the Roosevelts connected with the governor's office and the Roosevelts created the new great seal of the state of New Jersey?
That would be cool. What would be on it? A Taylor ham? And this, yeah.
A Taylor ham. Yeah, I think we could do a Taylor ham. Just a bagel.
A wave. I feel like there'd be a wave.
A wavy bagel. What else would we need? A wavy bagel with a pine tree sticking out of the middle. And apparently we need a Santa beanie or something.
I need to find out what that hat's about.
The cornucopia makes sense.
It does not.
Yeah, no, the Garden State.
Then put a garden.
I don't know.
Do you put your vegetables in a cornucopia when you get them?
Whenever, listen, when I get a property and I've got my chickens, maybe a goat and a cow, and a farm, or like a little garden, I will absolutely have a cornucopia on my kitchen counter, and I'll just like stuff some cucumbers and tomatoes in there.
Apparently the state dance of...
State dance?
There's a state dance of New Jersey, and it's the square dance.
I guess if they were deciding all of this back in the day, it was like either the square dance, the waltz.
Is that why you learned it in 6th grade?
They weren't doing the Macarena.
The state dance of New Jersey is the square dance. And it was designated as the American folk dance of the state of New Jersey by joint resolution number 1983.
That's the funny thing. When you realize both locally and nationally, like federally, some of the idiotic things that they actually have to sit down and vote on, it's wild.
Wow, I learned so much today. This is kind of crazy.
What have you learned in the last 24 hours, Carla Marie?
That the state of New Jersey has a stupid seal.
I'm just going to say best state seals. What do we got? There's a lot going on here. Alabama, pretty ugly. Not going to lie.
Alaska's cool.
Let's put this back on the screen real quick. I'm just going to do a quick rundown of these state seals. So Alabama's pretty hideous, especially because it has other states.
It has other states next to it.
It literally shows, it's just the map of Alabama in the most ugly elementary school colors you could make a map.
Okay, don't get hung up on Alabama here.
Okay, Alaska, pretty cool. I'll give you that one. Arizona looks like a badge.
The song? The state song?
Yeah.
How does it go?
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California,
I feel like
Colorado.
I never heard Arizona in the song.
Well, it's been a state for a long
That's why I
time.
was confused.
Let's see if any of these pop out. They're all pretty bad, honestly. I think we need a new, like...
Georgia would look cool as a button.
Illinois, you got it going on with the eagle in there. Good job. Indiana's got a buffalo. Always going to default to saying a buffalo is cool.
Maryland, what are you doing?
What else?
New Jersey.
New Mexico, pretty cool. It's got 2 birds on there.
Killing a snake. Who are these people?
We probably stole their land.
Yeah, because it's got a...
It's got a ship in the background.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like... Oh, they also have a cornucopia and a beanie. Or maybe it's a flame.
Oh.
On the Alaska one, that was a beanie. Or a New Jersey one. This is literally what America looked like before white people got here.
I'm going to sign up.
All pretty bad.
Wow, I think we have the best one in Washington.
Yeah, Washington's pretty good, and Alaska.
I'm going to sign a petition to have the Roosevelts do all 50 states.
They could probably do something where they just do like a reimagining.
Like, who owns the copyright? Can they just say, this is the new state seal and sell it?
Can I?
Like, it wouldn't be it would be the unofficial.
Print.
If they do the unofficial state seals, I literally almost just said, call Steve. Not gonna. I was like, call Steve.
Okay. You can print the New Jersey state seal on a shirt, but there are some guidelines to follow. Avoid distortion. Don't crop, distort, or remove elements of the seal.
Yeah, but this isn't. They're doing new ones. The unofficial.
I know. I just want to see if like maybe someone can come after them, but.
No, this is quite literally how to print. I don't think it's the legal version. It's telling you to avoid grayscale.
Okay. Never mind.
There's no way anyone owns that.
The New Jersey state seal.
Yeah.
This is the Rutgers schedule is now on here. Okay.
We're blurry.
We might be a little blurry. It's okay. What else do we have on the list, Carla Marie? I feel like
Nothing.
we've been all over the place. Oh, the September September bonus is going to start on Sunday, which really only helps us for Monday's show. So next Monday, if you want to come in here, drop some subs. I believe they're doing bonuses after 5 gifted subs.
Okay.
Twitch will then just like throw us extra money if you do that. So hopefully we can make that worth it. But other than that, Carla Marie, what do you got?
Nope, nothing.
Thanks for showing up. All right, we are out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. As always, there is a new episode of the Morning Show podcast available wherever you get your shows, and we will be back right here
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Peace out.